If you've ever stood in the whiskey aisle staring at a wall of bottles thinking, why does everything good cost a small rent payment? Relax. You don't need a $200 unicorn to drink well. You just need to know which cheap bottles cheat the system. Today we're ranking the 10 best budget whiskeys under $50 in America. Real bottles, real flavor. No hype chasing, but fair warning. Your favorite might land embarrassingly low on this list, so get your comment fingers ready. Let's start the countdown with a bottle that delivers grown-up flavor at allowance money prices. Number 10. Evan Williams, Bottled in Bond. Evan Williams Bottled in Bond is the moment you stop buying whiskey in plastic handles and start acting like someone who owns real glasses. At around $20-something, this bottle punches way above its pay grade. The Bottled in Bond stamp means it follows strict rules, so the flavor is way more legit than the price suggests. What you get is a 100 proof bourbon with warm caramel, toasted nuts, vanilla, and a touch of char that reminds you, oh right, this isn't flavored water. Its biggest secret weapon is versatility. You can drink it neat on a Tuesday, throw it over ice, or build an old-fashioned that tastes like you know what you're doing. Bartenders recommend this to beginners because it teaches your palate what real bourbon structure feels like without overwhelming you. But make no mistake, it is a starter bottle. As good as it is, the flavors don't linger long, and the complexity tops out quicker than the bottles higher in the countdown. It's the perfect gateway bourbon, not the final destination. Still, if your budget taps out at $25, you could grab something way worse. Evan Williams Bottled in Bond is the dependable friend who always shows up on time, never embarrasses you, and still somehow gets overlooked in group photos. Number 9. Old Forester 100 Proof. Old Forester 100 Proof is the bourbon people walk past because the label looks like it belongs on your great-grandfather's shelf. But that's the trap. Beneath that old-school design is one of the most reliable, well-built bourbons under $50. One that bartenders love because it makes every cocktail taste like an upgrade. At 100 proof, it strikes the perfect middle ground. Bold enough to stand out, smooth enough not to feel like a dare. You get brown sugar, orange peel, baking spice, and just enough oak to remind you this was aged with intention. Nothing is too sweet or too spicy. The flavors stack neatly like a bourbon made by someone who hates chaos. Identity-wise, Old Forester 100 is the bottle for the at-home mixologist who refuses to pay $16 for a whiskey sour. It's also the bottle you buy when you want something impressive but not pretentious. Take this to a dinner and people will think you know things. So why isn't it in the top 5? Because the top bottles here deliver either more depth, more elegance, or more crowd-pleasing power at the same price. Old Forester 100 is elite in cocktails and extremely solid neat, but once you taste what's coming later, you'll see why it sits comfortably at number 9. Still, for around $25 to $30, this bottle is a steal. Old Forester 100 is old money flavor at middle-class pricing. No wonder it's been around forever. Number 8. Wild Turkey 101. Wild Turkey 101 is the bourbon equivalent of a classic denim jacket. Timeless, sturdy, and somehow trendy every decade. This bottle has survived every whiskey trend because it offers something that newer brands can't replicate: consistency across generations. If someone in your family drank bourbon in the 90s, chances are a bottle of 101 lived in their kitchen cabinet. At 101 proof, it brings that warm Kentucky hug without turning your throat into a crime scene. The flavor profile is everything bourbon should be: caramel, vanilla, oak, and a pinch of spice that sticks around just long enough to keep things interesting. The nose is richer than most budget bottles, and the finish has a subtle smoky sweetness that feels way too polished for the price. The real secret? This thing is built for everything. Neat? Great. On ice? Still great. Old-fashioned? Ridiculously good. Whiskey sour? Perfect. Wild Turkey 101 doesn't care what mood you're in. It just performs. As for personality, this is the your uncle's favorite bourbon you once underestimated. It's the bottle you return to after trying fancier things and realizing, nothing actually beats this for 30-something bucks. It's humble confidence in liquid form. Why is it number 8? Because the bottles above it have a little more refinement or flavor complexity, but Wild Turkey 101 remains the workhorse of affordable bourbon. Reliable, flavorful, and proudly old school. Before we hit number 7, quick favor, tap like, hit subscribe, and tell me your favorite whiskey under $50. This list gets controversial from here, and I already know some of you are about to fight me in the comments. Number 7, Rittenhouse Rye, bottled in bond. Rittenhouse Rye Bottled in Bond is the bottle every cocktail bartender swears by, yet most casual whiskey drinkers don't even notice on the shelf. It's the definition of a quiet killer, priced like a budget rye but performing like something twice as expensive. At 100 proof, it has the backbone you want for cocktails, especially classics like Manhattans, Sazeracs, and Old Fashions. But what really sets it apart is the balance. Rittenhouse hits you with that signature rye spice, cinnamon, clove, cracked pepper, but rounds it out with caramel, orange peel, and a gentle sweetness that keeps it from feeling sharp or one-dimensional. It's lively without being aggressive, flavorful without being chaotic. You can sip it neat without wincing, and you can throw it in a cocktail without losing the whiskey behind the sugar and bitters. Personality-wise, this is the bottle for the friend who just discovered craft cocktails and suddenly can't stop talking about vermouth brands. It's also the bottle for anyone who wants to explore rye without jumping straight into the high-proof spice bombs that taste like a lumberjack's cologne. So why is it number 7? Because while it's exceptional for cocktails, the later entries deliver more sipping depth or premium feel. Rittenhouse is a tool, a very good tool, but the whiskeys ahead offer full experiences. Still, for under $30, nothing in rye touches it. Number 6, Buffalo Trace. Buffalo Trace is the bourbon that introduces people to the good life. It's smooth, welcoming, and ridiculously approachable. The kind of whiskey that makes beginners say, "Oh, now I get why people drink bourbon." It balances sweetness and spice so well that it almost feels engineered in a flavor lab. And honestly, that's part of its magic. On the palate, you get warm vanilla, light caramel, brown sugar, soft oak, and just enough spice to keep things interesting. Nothing is harsh. Nothing screams for attention. It's like the bourbon version of a well-rounded friend who's good at everything without trying too hard. This is the bottle you bring when you're not sure what the crowd likes, and it almost always wins. Now let's address the elephant in the room. Finding this bottle can feel like dating. Sometimes it's everywhere, and sometimes it disappears for weeks at a time. But don't let that fool you into thinking it's rare or mythical. Buffalo Trace is simply popular because it tastes good and stays affordable. Why isn't it higher? Because the top 5 bottles have a little more depth, a little more complexity, or a little more wow factor. Buffalo Trace is a warm hug, not a plot twist, but for around $30, it's one of the most reliable crowd pleasers in American whiskey. Number 5, Maker's Mark 46. Maker's Mark 46 is what happens when a classic bourbon gets dressed up for a night out. Regular Maker's is solid, smooth, sweet, dependable. But 46 adds French oak staves to the aging process, and suddenly the whole experience levels up. This is the affordable bottle that tastes like you splurged. The aroma alone tells you it's different. Toasted caramel, warm vanilla, baking spice, and a subtle woody depth. On the palate, you get richer sweetness than the original, plus hints of dark chocolate, cinnamon, and toasted oak. It's soft enough for beginners, but layered enough to keep experienced drinkers entertained. The French oak adds a cozy, dessert-like quality that feels indulgent without being sugary. Personality-wise, this is the date night bourbon, smooth, elegant, polished, and romantic in flavor. It's what you pour when you want something luxurious, but still firmly under the $50 line. And unlike some of the bottles in the top 3, Maker's 46 is easy to find. Nearly every liquor store has it. So why does it sit at number 5? Because while it's delicious and refined, it leans more towards sweet, soft, and rounded. The top 4 bottles bring more structure, spice, or complexity. But if you like your bourbon smooth with a bit of flair, this is your bottle. Number 4, Four Roses Small Batch. Four Roses Small Batch is the sleeper bourbon that quietly impresses everyone. It's the perfect middle ground. Not too sweet, not too spicy, not too oaky, just beautifully balanced. Four Roses is known for using multiple yeast strains and mash bills, and Small Batch blends them into a whiskey that feels deliberate and composed. You can taste the craftsmanship in every sip. The flavor opens with honey, red fruit, vanilla, and warm spice. Then you get a wave of caramel and light oak, followed by a clean floral finish that lingers longer than you'd expect for the price. It's elegant, aromatic, and surprisingly complex for something in the $35 to $45 range. Identity-wise, this is the dinner party bourbon. It's the bottle you bring when you want to impress without looking like you tried too hard. Whiskey nerds respect it, casual drinkers enjoy it, and newcomers find it approachable. You could hand this to 5 different people and they'd each taste something slightly different, which is part of the charm. So why is it number 4 instead of top 3? Because the final 3 bottles offer either deeper richness, bolder flavor, or a stronger premium feel. Four Roses. Small Batch is graceful and refined, but the top contenders bring that extra spark of intensity. Still, in terms of pure balance, this might be the most versatile bourbon on the list, the kind you always want on your shelf. Number 3, Knob Creek 9-Year Small Batch. Knob Creek 9-Year is the first bottle in this lineup that genuinely makes you pause and wonder how it's still priced under $50. A full 9 years of aging in today's bourbon market is basically a brag, and Knob Creek wears that badge proudly. Every extra year in the barrel shows up in the flavor. Deep caramel, toasted oak, dried fruit, and warm vanilla that coats your palate with confidence. Then comes the spice. At 100 proof, Knob Creek doesn't whisper. It speaks clearly, boldly, and with purpose. It's not harsh or abrasive. It's assertive. This bourbon wants you to taste everything it has to say. The structure feels deliberate, the heat controlled, and the flavors layered like a well-written story. Personality-wise, this is the I like my bourbon bold bottle. The person who keeps Knob Creek on their shelf wants intensity without sacrificing refinement. It's a powerhouse in cocktails and a rewarding sipper neat. Even whiskey veterans who claim they've moved on still have one tucked somewhere in their cabinet. So why isn't it number 1? Because while Knob Creek delivers depth, body, and satisfaction, the top 2 bottles bring an additional layer of elegance and drinkability that makes them feel premium without trying. Knob Creek is strong, steady, and deeply flavorful, but the next contenders add finesse. Still, for its price, proof, and age statement, Knob Creek remains one of the best value propositions in American bourbon, and skipping it would be a rookie mistake. Number 2, Michter's US 1 Small Batch Bourbon. Michter's US 1 looks like the kind of bottle that belongs behind glass in a dimly lit bar, yet it somehow slides in under the $50 mark. Everything about this bourbon feels curated, from the old world label to the warm, elegant aroma that rises the moment you open the bottle. It's the definition of quiet luxury. The flavor here is smooth and layered. Caramel, vanilla bean, dried fruit, toasted sugar, and gentle spice woven together with seamless transitions. There are no rough edges, no sharp corners, and no budget bourbon bite. Michter's tastes like it was built for slow sipping and intentional appreciation. Even the finish is soft but lingering, with a subtle smokiness that adds depth without overshadowing the sweetness. The personality match is easy. This is the effortlessly impressive bottle. It's the bourbon for someone who wants refinement without needing to brag about it. Beginners love how gentle it is, while experienced drinkers respect the craftsmanship and consistency. It's that rare middle ground where almost everyone agrees. This is simply good whiskey. So why not number 1? Because Michter's suffers from 2 things: uneven availability and occasional price creep. In some states, it's easy to find. In others, it disappears like a myth. And while it tastes refined, our top pick nails flavor, price, and accessibility with unbeatable balance. Still, if you find Michter's at a fair price, grab it. It's one of the smoothest, classiest sub-$50 bourbons you'll ever pour. Number 1, Elijah Craig Small Batch. Elijah Craig's small batch claims the top spot because it delivers a combination of flavor, value, and availability that almost no other whiskey under $50 can match. This bottle doesn't just overperform, it embarrasses bottles priced far higher. For around $30 to $40, you get a bourbon that tastes like it wandered out of the premium section by mistake. The flavor profile is a masterclass. Rich caramel, buttery vanilla, toasted oak, dark fruit, warm pepper spice, and a smooth, smoky hint that lingers longer than you expect. Every sip unfolds in layers, striking that perfect balance between sweetness, heat, and complexity. It's bold enough for seasoned drinkers, yet welcoming enough for complete beginners. Personality-wise, this is the, if I only buy one bourbon, it's this bottle. It works in literally every situation, neat, on ice, mixed, shared, gifted, or saved for a quiet night in. Elijah Craig doesn't rely on hype or scarcity. It wins by being consistently excellent and consistently available, which is rare in today's bourbon landscape. Why is it number one? Because it nails every metric: depth, drinkability, versatility, price stability, and shelf presence. It's not just a good budget bourbon, it's the blueprint for what a budget bourbon should be. Elijah Craig manages to feel timeless, reliable, and premium without ever drifting above that crucial $50 line. If you want the single most dependable, best-tasting whiskey for the money, Elijah Craig's small batch is unquestionably the king of this list. That's our full countdown of the best budget whiskeys under $50. 10 bottles that prove great flavor doesn't need great expense. Remember, every pick on this list is solid, even if the order makes you want to fight me in the comments. And honestly, I want to hear it. Tell me your personal top 3, the bottle you think I ranked too low, and the one you think I completely overlooked. If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit like, subscribe, and share this with someone who's buying their first real bourbon. Your shelf and your wallet will thank you later. Cheers.